kitchen, folks. Oh, it's a busy old kitchen. There's all sorts going on in here tonight, and I'll explain some of that to you as the film progresses. But in this film today, I'm going to make a wholemeal loaf of bread using mixed herbs grown in my own garden, freshly picked in this film for you. Let's go and get some. So I've got my good old bread tin here, which I'm going to put the herbs in. So here's ingredient number one. Let's get some bay leaves in there. I'm going to go for the ones which are not too old. Still got lots of green on, no brown. Big smells. Right, I've got 4 and I think that's enough. Let's have a little bit of mint. Not too much, I don't want it to taste like toothpaste. I think that'll do. And I believe this is coriander. I've lost the label. Nice fresh tips. And now my favourite of them all, the chives. A member of the onion family. Be generous with these. And last but not least, let's have a borage leaf. Just one, because they are quite pungent. Right, let's sort these out. Right, that's my herbs picked, but before I sort them out, let's have a look at the key ingredients for this loaf. So it's wholemeal bread. I need wholemeal bread flour. I've got 500 grams. I'm going to be using a couple of teaspoonfuls of sugar. I'm going to be using a dollop of olive oil, not measuring, I just know to look at. I'll be using some salt, probably the equivalent of about a teaspoon. I've got 350 ml of warm water, not hot, not cold, just nice and warm. I've got fast action bread yeast, and I'm going to use more than you would normally use in a loaf of bread because the wholemeal flour takes a bit more to make it rise, especially when you put extra ingredients in, such as these herbs just here. And that's it. Now there's lots of other things going on here, but they're for some rhubarb and lemon marmalade, which I'm about to make after I've started making this bread in a separate film. Yes, I'm making 3 films tonight, believe it or not. This film, rhubarb and lemon marmalade, and I'm doing a racking film for some rhubarb and Earl Grey saison. Yeah, it's busy in the kitchen. Oh, did I not mention also I'm making a paneer curry as well in the oven. Yeah, busy. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is get my herbs and I'm going to tip them into this colander. And I'm just going to give them a quick rinse, make sure there's no dirt on them, no bugs or anything like that, cobwebs, etc. Not that it would actually matter because it's going to get cooked. Then I'm going to get my wet herbs now and put them onto this chopping board. Get them all out of there. And using this knife, which is called a mezzaluna knife, I'm going to just roll it and cut them down just to make them smaller pieces. Now they will break up anyway because the breadmaker is good at smashing anything apart that goes in it. But I'm just going to break them down anyway because I'm going to start to ferment these before I add the flour into it. So I shall be back to you in a sec. Right, that's all my herbs broken down. Here's my bread tin and I'm going to put all these inside the bread tin. On top of those, I'm going to put a generous dollop of sugar. So one of these, which is the equivalent of about 2 teaspoonfuls, is going to go into there. And in fact, I'm going to put a bit more. I want this really to ferment. I'm then going to add my bread yeast. I'm going to use most of one of these sachets. I'm not quite sure how much is left in this one. I would normally use half of one of these sachets. In fact, this is one that's not had much taken out of it, so I think I'm probably just going to use the whole lot in there. And then on top of this, I'm going to add my warm water. So I want all this to combine together and get very happy. So that was 350 ml of warm water that's gone in there. I'm just going to give it a little bit of agitation. And you can already see the yeast starting to clump, which is a good sign. Right, I need to leave this for 20 minutes, so I'll come back to you then. I want it to form a foamy krausen on top before I start to add the flour into it. So see you in about 20 minutes. Right, 20 minutes later, and this is what you call the krausen. Look at that bad boy. That is what the yeast has done. The yeast has smashed the sugar apart. It's started to ferment. It's having a munch on all that vegetable matter that's in there. It's having a really good time, and the warm water expedites this. So on top of this, I'm going to add my wholemeal flour. Just want to do so gently so it doesn't go everywhere. And I'm going to keep rotating the tin as I pour it in to try and get it as evenly distributed as possible. Okay, so we'll just move that across and so, and I'm going to make a little well just there in the middle, and I'm going to fill that well with olive oil. So I don't know how much is here, but you can see what's going in. I mean, in terms of mil, I don't know, 50 mil, I'm not sure. Maybe 100. That's enough though, that'll do. I always imagine it like an egg. So there's your yolk, and there's your white around the edge, or your wholemeal, because it's not white. And then last but not least, I'm going to put my salt on top, and this is sea salt, and I'm keeping the salt separate from the yeast in the early parts of this, because the salt is a yeast inhibitor, and I want the yeast to get established and do its stuff before this hits it. It's time to get this in the bread maker. So there's the bread maker down there in the corner. Let's get this in. So the tin goes in, locked in tight, lid down. Now I need to find the basic loaf, number 1. Actually, I could try the whole wheat one because I am using whole wheat. Let's try the whole wheat one. I don't usually, but let's go on, let's do it. So it's a 5-hour one. Oh, crikey. So this is a long one. I don't want it XL, it's L. And that's it. So it's 5 hours on number 4. Let's go for it. Right, I'll see you about midnight. Right, there's 8 minutes to go on the bread maker, and I can confirm that this smells amazing. Literally, like the best bakery stroke Italian that you can imagine. I'm looking forward to this. Right, it's just beeped. It is ready. Okay, moment of truth. Has it risen? Here we go. Oh, yes. And that doesn't look too bad at all. Right, let's get that out. It's very hot. Okay. Yes, that's not bad. For wholemeal flour, that is actually not bad at all. Nice crispy outside. It's not risen as much as it would if it had been white flour. That definitely probably would have got to there easily. But I think that looks quite good. Now I'm going to leave it to cool, and I'm going to leave it so that the hole here underneath where the paddle in the bread maker tin is exposed, and that's going to let heat out. And I'm actually going to leave it overnight because it's bedtime now. So this goes on. Keep any flies off. And I'm going to come back to you in the morning for a cutting and a tasting. See you then. Good morning, folks. It is the next day. Let's have a look at that bread. Here it is, and it looks lovely. It's got a really nice crust on the outside. It's got a good sound to it, like it's not going to be too dense, although it's certainly going to be denser than what it would have been if it was a white loaf. Let's get a slice of this cut off. I'm going to go with the heel on the end. Okay, so look at that. So that's got a really nice crumb. I'm going to bring it into better light. So there you go. You can see the crumb there. That's really nice. It's got quite a springy texture to it, and you can see the herbs within the bread. But what does it taste like? And also, what does it smell like? Well, it smells delightful and really herby. I mean, there's no one distinct herb coming out of that. No, it's just a general sort of bouquet of herbiness. Let's just have a taste. It's lovely. It tastes like an artisan loaf. Really quite good. Just had a nice mouthful of chiviness. and the borage and the mint seem to be working together. They are of a similar ilk. That's really nice. Yeah, a success. Let's try with a bit of butter on. Oh yeah. Right, bit of proper butter. Right. Quite delightful. It's a really nice loaf. I'm glad I put the extra yeast in because I don't think it would have domed like it has done. I wouldn't have got that nice rounding effect on top. It's a little bit rough, but that's wholemeal flour for you. And also the addition of the herbs can sometimes do that too. Any additions can. But yeah, nice grain to it. Good. I'm really happy with that actually. Right folks, hope you've enjoyed the film. Catch you on the next one, whatever that may be. See you later. I'm going to enjoy this.